You're not gonna believe what I'm about to say, but mate, Australia's being sold off piece by bloody piece, and we are all just sitting back with our meat pies and VB, watching it happen like it's a footy match. You reckon that's dramatic? Nah, it's bloody true. This government, yep, the one run by Mr. Smooth Talker himself, Anthony Albanese, is playing a dangerous game. And it's not just politics as usual. It's lies, manipulation, and backroom deals that would make a mafia boss blush. Or you're not gonna like what you're about to hear. While you've been scrolling TikTok and sipping your morning flat white, Australia's being sold right from under our boots. And no one's stopping it. Smash that like button, sub if you've still got faith in real Aussie voices, and drop a comment. Who really owns this country now? 'Cause it sure as hell ain't us. And hey, if you're done with the lies and spin, grab one of our Albo Knows Best shirts. Only $16 for the next 48 hours. Links in the description. Righto, strap in, this one's gonna sting. I was in Darwin the other day, hot as hell, mind you, listening to Albo bang on about aged care reforms and some new bloody residential care facility. 120 new beds like it's the second coming of Christ. Everyone's clapping, smiling, patting themselves on the back, but I couldn't help thinking, who the hell's gonna work there? We've got a healthcare system collapsing faster than a drunk at a bush doof, and they are building new buildings like that's gonna fix the workforce crisis. It's like putting a band-aid on a bullet wound, mate. And don't get me started on the Aged Care Royal Commission. Remember that mess? Neglect. That's what they called it. And now Albo and his gang reckon they've solved it with wage hikes and nutrition programs with Maggie Bloody Beer. Sounds sweet, doesn't it? Until you realize it's a PR stunt. All surface, no depth. You think a 28% pay rise is gonna magically fix decades of systemic rot? Nah, mate. That's like giving a roo a Red Bull and expecting it to fly. Let me tell why something most Aussies don't want to admit. Our government's obsession with flashy announcements and comprehensive plans is covering up a bigger truth. We are being bled dry by a bunch of polished liars who know we are too distracted to notice. What Albo doesn't mention is the quiet little deals with foreign investors, selling off farmland, real estate, and infrastructure. While he's handing out Medicare incentives and talking mental health centers, backroom deals are being signed that'll leave our grandkids rent-in from overseas landlords. Meanwhile, over in the public service sector, Albanese reckons his savin jobs, right? Malkin sure Centrelink works better, that YA get your pension on time, all that jazz. But if you look behind the curtain, there's whispers, real serious whispers, about outsourcing and automation plans. You think your job's safe? You're Dre, I mean. The same politicians pretending to care about job security are the ones quietly preparing to replace workers with bots and slash departments after the next election. And by then, it's too late. You voted. You trusted. You got stitched up. And here's the kicker. You know who's rubbing their hands together through all this? China. Yeah, I said it. The dragon in the room. While the Yanks are trying to maintain a bit of balance out here in the Indo-Pacific, we are bending over backwards to make room for Chinese investments. Ports, mines, bloody cattle stations, sold off like second-hand utes. We are getting played harder than a pokies machine on a Saturday night in the pub. But you won't hear that on the ABC. You won't hear that from Albo while his flapping on about bulk billing and catching up. You'll hear sweet nothings, carefully scripted speeches about respecting older Australians and investing in the territory. All while the country's soul is being auctioned off to the highest bidder. Now let's talk about that $10 million for a medevac plane. Sounds noble, right? Getting patients out of remote communities faster, better care, more equity. But who's maintaining that plane? Who's flying it? And where's the rest of the healthcare infrastructure to support it? It's another photo op. One flashy purchase that makes the papers while bush clinics go without basic supplies, and mental health services are run by skeleton crews. Same story with the $1.7 billion boost to hospital funding. Per capita the NT got the biggest slice. Great. But how much of that's actually reaching the patients? Or is it getting chewed up in admin, consultancy fees, and bloated bureaucracy? You ask any nurse or frontline worker and they'll tell you, most of the real help never touches the ground. And the opposition? Don't get too comfy thinking they're the saviors. Peter Dutton's mob are keen to chop 41,000 public service jobs. That's not a cut, mate. That's a massacre. Services gone. Jobs gone. Communities gutted. And the bloke still won't tell you where those cuts are coming from. That's like telling your missus you're selling the car but not saying which one. If you think this is just about politics, you've missed the bigger picture. This is about trust, about leadership, and about the direction of our bloody country. We've gone from no worries to who owns us now, in less than a decade. Our economy's propped up by mining and migration, and the minute either of those take a dive, we are cooked. Meanwhile, pollies are busy gaslighting us, telling us how good we've got it while they rack up frequent flyer points on taxpayer dollars. I mean, how dumb do they think we are? You get one government screaming cuts, 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 the other one singeing spend, 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 and the whole time both sides are locking in trade deals with the same foreign powers. We are told we need foreign investment, but what we are getting is foreign control. The difference is subtle, but mate, it's deadly. Let me lay it out for you. We are losing control of our land, our services, and our future, and we are letting it happen with a smile. Why? Because they chuck a few dollars at Medicare or announce a shiny new policy about youth mental health. It's marketing. It's optics. It's a distraction. I know some of you are thinking, all right, mate, so what do we do about it? First, wake up. Stop treating politics like sport. It ain't about Team Red or Team Blue. It's about the blokes behind the scenes. The donors, the lobbyists, the faceless men marking show nothing really changes. Second, start questioning everything. When a politician says they are here to help, check your wallet and your land titles. And third, vote smarter. Don't fall for the same lies dressed up in new slogans. Demand accountability. Demand transparency. And demand that we stop selling out the very dirt we stand on. Because if we don't, we are screwed. Not next year. Not 10 years from now. We are screwed today, and every day we let this circus roll on. So before you click off this video and go back to scrolling TikTok or watching footy replays, ask yourself this. Do you even know who owns your country anymore? And if the answer's no, well, maybe it's time to start asking some hard bloody questions. Now don't forget to smash that like button if this cooked reality hit you like a magpie in spring. Share this with a mate who still thinks Albo's the Messiah or that Dutton's got a plan. And if you really want to support Aussie voices that aren't paid off or bought out, grab one of our Albo Knows Best shirts. Because this land, it's supposed to be ours. Stay sharp, stay loud, and stay bloody awake. Catch you next time.